This porchetta sandwich is stacked on stacked with pork belly and pork shoulder, rapini, white cheddar, and a nice bright aioli. Let's make it. First, I'm gonna start with pork belly, skin on because I like it to get nice and crispy. I'm just gonna score this really tight, so I'm doing a diamond pattern long across the top of this belly. Then I'll turn it, cut it the other way. So porchetta sandwiches, also known as the other Philly or just a roasted pork sandwich, are super popular, super tasty. All you need is some good pork. Salt and pepper, both sides. And then on the scored side, I'm gonna add some more pepper and rub it in. I want that pepper to get in between those cracks and season the meat underneath it. And now for this, I'm gonna put it onto a baking pan. It's gonna go in the oven at 450 for 45 minutes. And then after that, I'm gonna drop it down to 250 for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now that's going. I'm gonna start to work on my pork shoulder. Grab this nice, beautiful piece of pork right here. I'm gonna cut this down into about baseball-sized pieces. Baseball, softball, whatever sport you like. And then I'm gonna season these, each with salt and pepper again. I'm gonna make sure my pan's nice and hot. Some oil. I'm just gonna sear these on all sides. A nice golden brown color. Then I'm gonna remove them from the pan, add my spices, put them back in the pan. Then I'm gonna cover them with liquid and let them braise for a little bit, about 1 hour, and then they'll be nice and done, fork tender, be perfect. While my pork is browning, I'm gonna start to work on my rapini. So I have a pot right here, more oil. I'm gonna throw in some onion, a couple cloves of garlic. I'm gonna cook this down a little bit, bring all the flavors of the onion and garlic together, and then add my rapini. Just gonna cut these in half real quick. Throw them right in the pan, some salt and pepper. And since rapini can get a little bitter, I'm gonna add a little bit of red wine vinegar to take that out. A little bit of white wine and vegetable stock. I'm not gonna cover this completely. It will wilt down and go into the liquid itself, just enough to get most of the bottom covered. Then I'm gonna cap this and let it do the rest of the cooking. My pork's looking nice and brown on one side. I'm gonna flip this real quick. All right, so this is the color you're looking for right here. So now my pork is looking good. It's time to transfer it out of the pot. Take some garlic, nice rough chop on that. The rest of my onions, some oregano, rosemary, and thyme. And these all go right in the pan, cooking in all that nice pork fat, all that delicious flavor. Gonna bring out all the garlic, the herbs. All right, time for the pork. So right now I have a bunch of good bits stuck to the bottom of this pan. So I'm gonna add my wine first to deglaze it, and then my stock. And with the pork, instead of the greens, I wanna make sure my liquid covers it completely. Then we're gonna cap this and let this simmer medium-high for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. And now we wait. All right, so now our shoulder has been braised, our pork belly is nice and crispy, and our greens are ready. Now all we have to do is assemble. First, I'm gonna grab out my belly. It's nice and golden brown, perfect. So for the greens, some lemon juice, just to give it more brightness, and some lemon zest. Again, all this acid is gonna counterbalance all the bitterness. So I'm gonna slice my belly. I like to turn it upside down. Nice thin slices. You could hear that crunch of the skin as I'm cutting through this. It's amazing. I'm going to pull out my shoulder and just break it up a bit. I'm gonna throw some white cheddar on this. I'm just gonna cut it in chunks. The reason I'm doing that is just for texture. I want big mouthfuls of white cheddar. I'm going to add aioli, a garlic lemon aioli. On the bottom bun, I'm putting my white cheddar chunks. Next, I'm going to add my pork belly. I'm grabbing some of my braised greens right here. Run my knife through them real quick. These go right on top of that. And last but not least, our pork shoulder. And you can tell why this sandwich is so popular. Pork on pork. The pork is almost battling against itself to find out who's the champion of this sandwich. Only you can decide. And since this is such a big sandwich, I kind of want to hold down that top bun so it doesn't fly away. And there you have it, porchetta sandwich, battle the pig, the other Philly. Enjoy.